So Zynga just bought out the what's the name of that? Who they buy?
Draw something.
Oh, the Draw Something people. That's the name of the game. Yeah, it's the game that everyone's like, the game that yesterday I discovered everybody on Earth was talking about, and
Yep.
today they got bought by Zynga.
That's exactly how I feel too. I just found out about it yesterday.
Yeah,
And everyone's
exactly.
like, "What's your username on it? What's your username?" I'm like, don't play it. And then today they got bought out.
It's like I don't have an iPhone. Sorry.
Yeah.
I also haven't played it, but I've seen all of our friends. They post their pictures on Twitter, and we have some fucked up friends. I
Yeah.
have to say, there's some disturbing stuff going on in that game.
Yeah. I mean, it makes perfect sense. Pictionary was an incredibly hot game when it came out in the 80s. And television ads for it. It was like the big Christmas game one year, the big party game. Everybody hopped on board. Did TV shows and like a win, lose, or draw. And oh God, it was so bad for a while there. So it only stands to reason that something like this, with such uh, ease of use for a socially networked multiplayer game, that doesn't surprise me that it's this popular.
It's just really weird that like all the huge social games or they were board games or they still are. Like Wordsworth Friends is just Scrabble, and that's
Hmm.
huge.
I wonder how that is. I wonder why it is that all of these board games are working so well in a social context. It's almost as if board games are inherently more social. Just, throwing that out there.
What board games would we want to see? Because it seems like most of these board games are just lowest common
I want
denominator.
fucking Robo Rally.
What's Robo Rally? I'm
I've
sure
been
you told me
saying
about it.
this for God, since before I started writing it like at Destructoid. I think I even made a post like in the C blogs 4 fucking years ago saying make Robo Rally because we're getting all those great XBLA board game transitions, Lost Cities, Carcassonne, Ticket to Ride, and Robo Rally it's a race game. It's cards. You get a set of programs that move one, two, three spaces, rotate left, rotate right, U-turn. That you use to navigate around the board, navigate your little robot around to get to flags. And the cool thing about it is that you program out 5 actions for your robot to do, and everybody's programs are executed at the same time. So it'd be perfect for one of these social network things where everybody gets their programs and enters them in, and then once everybody's entered them in, it just runs the program and feeds the results back to everybody. They could view it whenever they want to, and then plan their next move based on what happened. It's so ideal. It just kills me it hasn't been done because it's both got hardcore strategic elements along with being a board game that's just such a pain in the ass to set up and tear down every time you want to play it, and it takes forever to play a game. But if you draw it out over a period of time that you just sort of like, oh, I'm checking on it, it could be so good. And Wizards of the Coast has just not answered any of my emails about it.
This
None.
seems like another project you need to pitch to them.
It is. It's one of those things that I'm just gonna have to like write up a design document and be like, here, look, please. Yeah, great game though. One of my favorite board games. Most of my favorite board games are ones that could easily be made into video games and would benefit everyone because it's a royal pain in the ass to set them up and take them apart and score with.
Honestly, I'm still a little bummed that like Microsoft Surface or even knockoffs of that haven't come out in any meaningful way for consumers, at least not to my knowledge.
I think that touchscreen stuff still has to get a little bit cheaper. I mean, you still have those mega touch things in bars and so forth, and that's the Surface. I think is kind of going to be the next step in that. I want it. I want it to reach a point where it's inexpensive enough that it can be purchasable at a consumer level, as opposed to the hospitality industry, which is really where I think that they're going with that for a long time. Trying to sell them to hotels in Dubai that would put them in their lobbies and crap like that. So once that price comes down, once the materials cost gets low enough that these are affordable on a consumer level to mass produce, yeah, I think they'll be fantastic for board games. and all sorts of shit. I mean, I would love to have a dining room table where I could bring up the newspaper while I'm having breakfast and just read it there. I gotta have my breakfast in front of my computer because I want to. Well, who am I kidding? I don't eat.
I've always wanted one of those tables that flips up and then everything just goes into the center and gets destroyed because that would be better than having to clean dishes. Just buy new dishes every week.
Right, disposable, compostable dishes.
Yeah.
The future. What's this Dark Souls thing that's going on? Do you know? I don't know.
It's coming to PC.
It
Is that what it is?
probably, if it's not
Well,
coming to PC
yeah,
and this
it's
is just
probably
setting us up for failure, that'd be bad.
Well, maybe they're gonna add new content.
I don't see that happening at all. So I guess the most likely thing is that it's just coming to PC.
yeah. People think it's either, I guess, an expansion pack or PC, but everybody's leaning towards it's a PC thing.
What would they add? That's what I don't get. That game concludes. They need to change the
Okay,
ending,
guys.
damn it.
More-
I'm sorry, I don't mean to interrupt.
Shit to kill. I don't
This
know.
is the strangest shit ever going on right now in my house.
Huh?
Ramses has decided that Katrina is a flat surface. Like he was rolling over on his back on her back just a moment ago. If she would stop laughing and moving around, he'd probably do it again.
That's amazing.
He's just flicking his tail around her head, and he will not get up. He'll not move.
I was trying to get him to sit down, but then he thought, oh, it's a flat surface, I could just lay here.
I think if you just stood up, he would probably, yeah, there we go. Oh, that's so going on the internet for everyone to see.
That could be the whole episode for all I care.
All right, what were you guys talking about? I'm sorry, I totally interrupted for that.
We were just contemplating how they could, if it was going to be an expansion, if that's what people think, what could From Software actually add to the game? I don't know.
They could add a new island across the sea.
Yeah, well, they could. I mean, would they need? I don't know.
I mean, really, all it would take is for them to put another little glowy thing somewhere in a wall, and you push through the mist. No, it's near
Well, they
enough.
could just have the bird take you to some island if they were going to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. They just pull in Anor Londo. Problem solved. I might actually play it again on PC, though.
I probably would. Just if they could nail down the frame rate alone, that would be enough to get me to play
Yeah,
again.
that'd be a pretty big. I don't think they aren't going to fix most of the issues I had with the game. But that's it's a good game. I like the game.
It's a flawed but great game, I think.
Yeah, yeah.
And there's really not much else like it, especially now. It seems like there's even less stuff like that nowadays. And that didn't even come out very long ago, so.
Legacy of Kain, Soul Reaver. Ooh. Coming back. Did you guys like
That's
Legacy
one of
of
those
Kain?
games that people really want to happen, so makes sense.
I've
Does
never
People-
played them.
I played the first one.
It's an interesting series because of like the way it evolves over time. Like if you start at Blood Omen Legacy of Kain, it's a it's a really ugly game now. But yet incredibly gory and violent, and it's got this great blood slurping sound effect. And you're a vampire that like drinks blood remotely. So that's kind of awesome. But the Kain and Soul Reaver games are both really different stylistically, and they're interesting, but I've not had fun playing one ever. I don't think. I know a lot of people really love them, but
Hmm. It's honestly been so long that I could be in the same camp as you if I went back and played it right now.
Blood Omen was really neat. I wanted to, but I never finished it. It got too hard, or I got confused, or lost, or something, and I just never actually finished that game. But Soul Reaver, I could never really get a grip on it. It just felt too much like I'd rather be playing Tomb Raider.
Well, they did get the what was his name, Corey something, the God of War 2 guy, director or creative director, I don't know.
Cory Balrog?
Yeah, that sounds right. So that could be cool if they
Barlog?
made it more character actiony, but I don't really know. I'm interested to see where it
That's another
goes.
thing, is that Legacy of Kain was always a Kain was not like a quick mover. And even Raziel, I guess, is that how you pronounce it?
I don't remember.
Yeah, the Soul Reaver dude, he wasn't that like as games that were going to feature combat go. They were very sort of kind of running through mud, I guess, is the best. They just felt heavy, and a lot of those third-person action games have really moved away from sort of heavy characters. It's all being light and quick on your feet and dodging and stuff like that. Maybe I'm remembering Soul Reaver wrong because he was supposed to be light and so forth, but I don't recall him ever feeling like he was quick enough. Certainly not like even on the level of, say, Lara Croft.
I always thought his character design was really gross. It's like he almost looks like Jesus on the cross, but not, human tone skin. He's just
Kane?
so
Or,
skinny.
I mean, Raziel?
Yeah.
He's got no jaw.
That's the other thing. I wasn't going to bring that up because I thought it would be impolite, but yes. There,
You don't want to point out that the dude's
no,
got no
no. You
jaw.
just accept it and don't.
Wouldn't want to make him feel uncomfortable.